Hello dear students, today we are going to see a brief introduction to ocular drug delivery system. Content of this session include introduction, anatomy of eye, mechanism of drug absorption, barriers to drug penetration, methods to overcome barriers, and conventional drug delivery system and novel drug delivery system in case of the ocular route. So ophthalmic drug delivery system, it is one of the most interesting and challenging field. The anatomy, physiology and biochemistry of eye render this organ exquisitely impermeable to foreign substances, and therefore it is challenge for the formulator to circumvent these protective barriers and just allow the drug to pass through it. The bioavailability is very poor due to effective protective mechanisms of the eye. For example, blinking, reflex lacrimation, drainage rapidly removes the drug from the surface of the eye. To overcome these, two approaches can be followed. The first involves alternate delivery route to conventional ones, allowing for the more direct access to the intended target site. And second involves development of novel drug delivery system providing the cleared results. So anatomy of eye, here you can see this is the sclera, this is the choroid, this is the retina, this is the macula, this is the optic nerve, this is the vitreous body, this is the lens, this is the iris, pupil, cornea and anterior chamber which is filled with the aqueous humor. So mechanism of ocular absorption, there is non-corneal absorption, that is not from the cornea, that is penetration across the sclera and the conjunctiva, and non-productive because penetrated drug is absorbed by general circulation. Second comes the corneal absorption, that is through cornea, that is the outer epithelium. It is a rate limiting barrier which has the pore size of 60 angstrom. Transcellular transport between corneal epithelium and the stroma. So here you can see this is the corneal and non-corneal, that is two sclera. Okay. Topically applied drug can be absorbed through two routes, as I have told you, corneal absorption, that is the outermost layer, and non-corneal absorption. Barriers for the drug permeation, that is the precorneal, that is drainage of drug solution takes place, lacrimation and tear dilution. Then dynamic barrier include blood flow to the conjunctiva and choroid. Static barrier include corneal epithelium, sclera, choroid and retinal pigment epithelium. So this is the image which shows the barriers to ocular drug delivery. So delivery of ocular drugs to the targeted ocular tissues require therapeutic drug transmutation is very difficult due to the presence of various precorneal dynamic and static barriers. As a result, ocular bioavailability is very less. These barriers can also be classified as anatomical and physiological barriers. So anatomical barriers, that is the cornea, it is composed of 5 sections, that is epithelium, Bowman's membrane, stroma, Descemet's membrane and endothelium. Epithelium act as a principal barrier. Stroma, it consists of multiple layers of hexagonally arranged collagen fibers. It allows hydrophilic drugs to easily pass through it, but it acts as a significant barrier for lipophilic drugs. Sclera and conjunctiva, it is the more permeable than cornea, especially for hydrophilic molecules. Its high vascularity renders this route not suitable for drug delivery as the blood vessels remove a large fraction of absorbed dose. Then blood ocular barriers, that is, these barriers have two parts, that is blood aqueous humor barrier and blood retina barrier. The anterior blood ocular barrier is composed of endothelial cells in the uvea. Inflammation may disrupt the integrity of this barrier. The posterior barrier is comprised of retinal pigment epithelium and tight walls of retinal capillaries. Therefore, only a minute fraction of intravenous or oral drug dose gains access to the retina. Physiological barriers, they include nasolacrimal damage of drug solution, reflex drinking, increased lacrimation and tear turnover, tear dilution, metabolism, non-productive absorption. So factors affecting intraocular bioavailability is inflow and outflow of the lacrimal fluid, efficient nasolacrimal drainage, interaction of the drug with proteins of lacrimal fluids, corneal barriers, dilution with the tears, physicochemical properties of the drug. Methods to overcome the barriers include two distinct approaches can be used. It involves alternate delivery routes to conventional one, and second approach involves development of novel drug delivery system providing better permeability, treatability, and controlled release at the target site. So alternate drug delivery routes, that is intravitreal injection. It involves delivery of drug formulation directly into the vitreous humor. It provides direct access to the vitreous and avoids both the cornea and the scleral blood vessels. Formulations such as solution suspension or depot can be administered through this route. Adverse effects are retinal detachment, cataract, hyperemia, and endophthalmitis. Subconjunctival injections include it delivers the drug beneath the conjunctival membrane that lines the inner surface of the eyelid. It avoids both cornea and conjunctiva, allowing the drug direct access to the sclera. It has lesser side effect when compared to vitreal injections. An excellent route for delivering the hydrophilic drug, depot forming formulation, and micromolecules. So here you can see this is the intravitreal injection, this is the retrobulbar injection, this is the subtenon injection site, this is subconjunctival injection, then intracameral injection can be given here, and this is the topical route. Retrobulbar and peribulbar route is given through eyelid and orbital fascia, and it places the drug into retrobulbar space. It causes minor or no change in the IOP. Adverse effect, it may damage the optic nerve. Peribulbar route involves injection above or below the globe. It is also a viable route for the delivery of anesthesia in cataract surgery. It is a safer route than the retrobulbar route, but rise in intraocular pressure have been reported. Intracameral injection, that is this injection delivers the drug to the anterior chamber. It is generally employed for anterior segment procedures such as cataract surgery. It is an efficient and most cost-effective method of delivering antibiotics. Then which are the various ocular drug delivery system? That is the conventional include solution, suspension, emulsion, ointment, insert and gels. Vesicular include liposome, neosome, discosomes and pharmacosomes. Particulate include microparticles and nanoparticles. Controlled release include implant, hydrogels, dendrivers, iontophoresis, collagen shield, polymeric solution, contact lenses, cyclodextrin, microneedle, microemulsion, and nanosuspension. And advanced includes scleral plugs, gene delivery, RNA, stem cell, and ECT. So advantages of ocular drug delivery system include they are easily administered by the nurse, they are easily administered by the patient itself, they have quick absorption and effect, less visual and systemic side effect, increased shelf life, better patient compliance. Disadvantages include very short time, the solution stays at the eye surface, poor bioavailability, instability of the dissolved drug, necessity of using preservative. Ideal characteristics of ocular drug delivery system is sterility, isotonicity, which can be adjusted with 1.9% boric acid or 0.9% sodium chloride, buffer or pH adjustment, less drainage tendency, minimum protein binding. Formulation of ocular drug delivery system, that is solutions. Advantages is convenience, disadvantages is rapid precorneal elimination and non-sustained action. Then you can also prepare suspension, because advantages is patient compliance, best for drug with slow dissolution, but the drug properties give performance loss of both solution and suspended particles. Emulsion, here also prolonged release of drug from the vehicle, but there is blurred vision and patient non-compliance. Ointment, it is flexibility in drug choice, it improves the drug stability, but there is sticking of eyelids, blurred vision, poor patient compliance. Conventional delivery systems include eye drops, that is, which are active at eye or eye surface. They can be given in the form of solution, emulsion, or suspension. Various properties of eye drops like hydrogen ion concentration, osmolality, viscosity, and instant volume can influence the retention of drug into the eye. Less than 5% of the dose is absorbed after topical administration into the eye. The dose is mostly absorbed via the conjunctival and nasal blood vessels. Ointment and gels, that is prolongation of the drug contact time, can be achieved by preparing this ointment vehicle, but major drawback of this dosage form is blurring of vision and wetting of eyelids can limit to its use. Occusert and Lacrisert, that is, these are the sterile preparation which prolong the residence time of the drug within a controlled release manner. Inserts are available in different varieties depending on composition and application. Lacrisert, it is a sterile rod-shaped device which is used for the treatment of dry eye syndrome and keratitis sicca. They act by imbibing the water from the cornea and conjunctiva and form an hydrophilic film that lubricates the cornea. Vesicular system, that is the liposomes. These are the biocompatible and biodegradable lipid vesicles made up of natural lipid and about 25 to 10,000 nanometer in diameter. They are having an intimate contact with the corneal and conjunctival surfaces, which is desirable for drugs that are poorly absorbed, the drug with low partition coefficient, poor solubility, or those with medium to high molecular weight, and thus increases the probability of ocular drug absorption. Inserts classification include non-erodible insert, that is occusert and contact lens, and second is the erodible insert, that is the lacrisert and the SODI and mini disc. So non-erodible insert, as the name suggests, they are not eroded in the body. So example is occusert, that is, it is a flat, flexible, elliptical device designed to be placed in the inferior cul-de-sac between the sclera and the eyelid to release pilocarpine continuously at a steady rate of 7 days. The device consists of 3 layers, that is the outer layer, inner core, a retaining ring, It is available in two forms, that is below 20 and below 40. Advantages: it reduces the local side effects and toxicity, and it controls the IOP, improved compliance. Disadvantages include retention in the eye for the full 7 days, periodical check of unit, replacement of contaminated unit, expensive. Then comes the contact lenses. These are the circular shaped structures. Dyes may be added during the polymerization. Drug incorporation depends on whether the structure is hydrophilic or hydrophobic. Drug release in contact lenses depend on the amount of drug, soaking time, drug concentration in the soaking solution. Advantages include no preservation, size and shape. Disadvantages include handling and cleaning is required and expensive. Erodible insert include that they absorb the aqueous tear fluid and gradually erode or disintegrate. The drug is slowly leached from the hydrophilic matrix. They quickly lose their solid integrity and are squeezed out of the eye with the eye movement and blinking. They do not have to be removed at the end of their use. Three types are there: Lacricerts, SODI, and mini disc. So Lacricerts, these are the sterile rod-shaped device made up of hydroxypropyl cellulose without any preservative, used for the treatment of dry eye syndrome. It weighs 5 milligram and measures 1.27 millimeter in diameter with a length of 3.5 millimeter. It is inserted into the inferior fornix. Then comes SODI, that is soluble ocular drug insert. It is a small oral wafer. Then sterile thin film of oval shape. It weighs 15 to 16 milligram. It is used in glaucoma. Advantages is single application. Then comes the mini disc. It is a counter disc with a convex front and a concave back surface. Diameter is 4 to 5 millimeter. Composition is silicon based prepolymer alpha dis 4 methacryloxy butyl polydyl methyl siloxane M methyl acryloxy butyl functionalities. D is dimethyl siloxane functionalities, and it is used for the delivery of drugs such as pilocarpine and chloramphenicol. So this was all about a brief introduction of ocular drug delivery system.